So we got our running backs right here. Um, let's just jump right into it. So we're going to start off up top with, I mean, arguably the best running back, Najee Harris.
Yep, let's go ahead and launch in with him. So with Najee Harris, I absolutely love how big he is. Usually, I'm not a huge proponent of big running backs, but I'm going to be putting him in A, not in S.
I put him S. That was
Okay,
me.
okay. So love his size, and he actually has quite a good catching ability, which is rare for those bigger running backs. You don't really see like Derrick Henry, who's one of my comparisons for him, catching passes out of the backfield. So that's really cool because with how bruising he is, you just don't see those guys running
No, no,
routes
no.
as well as
It's
he does.
it's definitely a different kind of game, and they normally don't mix.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as negatives on Najee Harris, I think he lacks the truly elite speed to make him really good at the next level. And I don't think he's all that shifty. He makes up for that because he's gonna run through you. But there's a large difference between the tacklers at the college level and the tacklers at the NFL level. So if he's not quite as bruising as he was in college, I think his game's going to take a major hit because I just don't see that shiftiness developing out of nowhere. It's very much a one cut runner. He kind of reminds me, and this is the closer comparison of the two. So I said he was a little bit like Derrick Henry, but more like Matt Forte is what I see.
Okay.
So maybe he could achieve that level of success. And as far as landing spots for him, I do think he's going in the first for sure. And I think he's either going to go to Arizona because Arizona needs a running back, and that could be good because they got a lot of speed right now and get a bruiser in there. They don't have a lot of goal line guys right now. I mean, obviously they can throw it out to DeAndre Hopkins, but other than that, mostly small dudes. So having a nice bruiser would be awesome for them. And then also Miami would be really fun for him to reunite with Tua. And they need a bruiser back there. They need something.
No, 100%. See, that's a little bit where you and I differ from what I saw. Now, I get that he doesn't make a lot of cuts, but he makes a lot of good moves. Like he made a lot of good spin moves. He made a lot of good jukes, which I really liked, and that's kind of why I put him in S tier. Is because not only can he run you over and bruise you, but I did see a lot of spin moves and just people just like trying to grab him and then just like nope, no longer grabbing him because he's spun out of their grasp. Now that is going to be a little bit more difficult to do, obviously, in the NFL, but I feel like his game can translate very well because, like you said, he has really good hands. He can catch really well out of the backfield, and then is a bruiser out in mid space. I love that. I love that. Because that means he's going to be going up for balls. That means that he's going to get yards after the catch, which are all fantastic things from a quarterback or from a running back. Excuse me. But yeah, I think he is going to be the first running back taken, which is another reason why I have him in S. I think he goes in the top 15. Arizona, Miami both make perfect sense. I know I was talking earlier about James Conner to the Broncos. If the Broncos figure out their quarterback situation not through the draft, the Broncos could grab him.
At number 9, that would be really early.
That would be
I
really
don't, I
early,
don't, I
but
don't see
like,
him being as elite as some of those top 10 running backs, like where we've seen Zeke go and Christian McCaffrey. That's why I couldn't put him in S.
I mean,
He's not generational. That's my fear. Is that's a little early. Picking him in the latter half of the first round makes more sense for a non-generational running back with a little bit of knocks on his game.
that's fair, but I mean, I'm saying I think he could be the generational talent. Could. I'm not saying again, all of this is prospect. So, I could be 100% wrong and I'm willing about any of my picks. Any of them from now, previously, and into the future. If anything I ever say is wrong, I will be the first one to say, yeah, I was wrong. I messed up. But I do think he could be a generational talent. He's real. From what I saw, I really liked some of the things he did. Now he doesn't have that elite speed like you said, but he's a bruiser, and I like how he jukes. Now he like you said, he's not shifty. He doesn't do it a bunch of times, but a lot of times the one time he does it, like the one move he does, is enough to get him out in enough space to bruise people and get those
Yeah,
yards.
that's why I described him as a one cut. He's very much that first cut he makes is deadly, and then from there on,
No, exactly.
he ain't
Like
gonna be shifting anymore.
no, yeah, but I'm still saying that game can still translate to the NFL. Is it go
That's
it
true.
is he going to? I don't know. But I'm just saying I can see him going in the top in the top of the first round. Now, 9 is still pretty high, but I mean, hey, maybe if the Broncos figure out their QB situation, maybe they trade back with like the Patriots or somebody.
That's entirely possible. That
And,
could happen.
and then, Miami with their second pick grabs something else, and Arizona grabs something else. Because, I mean, all of those teams have needs other than running back. And he falls to 15, and then boom, Broncos grab him at 15.
Maybe
Again, it's all prospect. I
it's all
do,
speculation.
yeah. I do think Broncos are going to move up. I don't think they figure out their QB situation outside of the draft. I'm just saying if they do, I could see that happening because they still do need a running back, a very good one. But moving on to, I don't want to screw up this guy's last name, Travis Etienne.
I think it's Etienne. Yes, I
Etienne.
get pronunciations wrong all the time, but I don't think I'm wrong about his analysis.
Okay.
So I'm putting him above Najee Harris. He's going to be my first A slot. I think he's better. He's, in my opinion, easily the most well-rounded. No, it's still an A, but A1.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, oh, oh.
Still not generational to me, but he's better than Najee Harris. I think his game translates better. He has better speed, better cuts. He's more of an instinctual runner. Najee Harris is just going to run through whoever's in front of him, but Etienne sees everything, and I like that. Very quick feet, very intelligent runner. He needs to get better in blitz protection, but that's really the only knock I can put on his game overall. I was very close to putting him in S. He just still doesn't strike me quite as generational. Uh, but as far as NFL comparisons for him, I think he could be very much like Dalvin Cook at best, and then at worst, I think his floor is going to be like a Kenyon Drake. So I think he falls somewhere in that range.
Are you
I
saying
do think
Dalvin
not.
Cook isn't generational?
He is now, but he was not when he was a prospect. See, that's the difference.
Okay, okay.
We still saw him go in the second round. So
That's fair. That's fair.
as far as landing spots for him, I do think Najee Harris gets drafted before Etienne because I think NFL teams will think of it differently than me. But I do think he can still climb into the first, and places that I like is the Steelers in the first round if they want to do a luxury pick, which I don't think is the wisest thing, but
No.
I would like to see him go there. That would be pretty cool. Or even the Bills. The Bills want to make that offense really achieve next level. I think he can do that for them. As far as if he falls into the second, which is possible, I think the Bengals should snag him up at the beginning of the second round.
I mean that makes a lot of sense. I do like him to the Bengals because they need stuff. They need a lot of things, and running back would definitely help them. Take some pressure off Joe Burrow, having somebody like this. Now, the reason why I haven't put where I'm going to put him yet because I actually think the exact same as Joel, except for I am putting him in S tier.
Well,
I think Travis. I think he is insane. I I mean, so I'm saying as I know running backs don't get drafted normally that early in the draft. Like I know they don't normally go in the top of the first. So I don't think Travis is also going to go in the top of the first. I think he goes later in the first or in the second. But just from what I saw, for me, I had to put this man in S tier. Like, I loved what I saw. Slippery, shifting all the time. It almost like he shifts his body weight as well. And like you said, with that instinctiveness, and is able to make people miss that way. And it's just like, it just was so cool to see. And he also just keeps going. Like, he doesn't stop. Like, his feet are still moving, and he will move through defenders. And now, normally not power like Najee Harris, but like slippery, like moving like literally through them. And it was just so fun to watch some of his highlights and some of his reel. And I am really hyped on him. I think he's going to be a very good pickup for whoever grabs him, and that whoever that could grab him is somebody. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Um, I mean, I like the Steelers because they do need a another running back, but the Bills. You said the Bills. That's right. Yes, that made me think of something as well, because yes, the Bills need a running back like that. That would take their offense to a whole nother level, and I think them doing that alone in the first round, because I mean their offseason has been kind of quiet, but it's been good. Like, they've been re-signing people and keeping people. They've been very quiet, no splashy moves, but it's basically going to be the same Bills team next year. And if they get somebody like Travis,
They can really kick it up a notch.
yeah, like they might
And
be the
maybe we're
team to
talking
beat in the
about,
AFC. They might become the team to beat. And whoo,
so right now that offense can't keep up with the Chiefs, but adding someone like him as another dimension, they can keep up with the Chiefs then.
sorry, that I don't know if anyone can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my dog. There's trash people grabbing trash. It's fine. We will be moving on. But yes, I like Travis a lot. I think him going to the Bills it makes so much sense. It just does, and it would be great for the Bills. Um, but continuing to Michael Carter, where do you got this guy? Where you got him?
I'm not a big fan of Michael Carter. I have him in C. I do think of the two, of his buddy Javonte Williams, who we're going to be talking about in a second, I do think Michael Carter carries the higher immediate upside because he was immediately productive when he was in college. So I think when he goes to the league, he's going to be out there making plays immediately. So he's still a good back. But I do think he will never be a running back one. He needs to be in a tandem. He's never going to lead the tandem. He's always going to be RB2, be the third down guy kind of thing. Uh, and in such a tandem, he could be really elite, but as the secondary option. Uh, he has good vision, but play to play, it's inconsistent. One play, he sees the field perfectly. Next play, he runs into a wall. Uh, he's not a great run blocker, but on the other side of things, he's very shifty. He's one of the more shiftier backs in this class, and I love his home run potential. Just watching him run sometimes, it's just crazy. As far as NFL comparisons, I see him as almost a Giovanni Bernard clone. That's what I see with him.
Okay.
As far as landing spots for him, I think he does go in round 2 or 3, and I think putting him on the Giants in round 2, pairing him with Saquon Barkley, alleviating some of that stress from Saquon Barkley, because I've always been a Saquon Barkley critic, not because he's on the Giants, but because of his injury issues. So alleviating some of that stress from Barkley and making it so he doesn't have to carry the full load anymore would be wise. And Michael Carter, with the far better running back in Saquon Barkley, could make him become elite. Maybe we even see with that kind of role a Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman thing when they were with the Falcons a couple years ago. Maybe they can create that kind of dynamic. Another landing spot for him that I like is the Jaguars in round
Okay.
3. Pairing him with James Robinson, because I really like James Robinson, but I don't think he's ever going to be like elite guy. I think he's always going to be stellar. And adding a guy for a tandem for them where James Robinson carries 15 times a game and Carter carries it 8 to 10, that's the money spot for me.
No, I actually, so the Jaguars is what I was going to say. Personally, I'm putting him in B. It seems like we're almost mirrored so far. I'm just one tier above yours. um, I guess we'll find out where we got Javonte Williams next, but um, but yeah, I mean, everything you said basically. I like that he's fast, he's slippery, he makes really good cuts, and he's small but tough. Like he feels like he's tough, you know.
Mhm.
But
He does have that mentality.
exactly. But like you said, he is working really well right now in a tandem in North Carolina, and I think he benefits a lot from that. Um, but I do like him a lot. I do think he's gonna go. He's probably gonna go in the round two. I say day two, so I mean, but he's probably going in round two. Um, and I think that's a very good spot for him. And going to a team like the Jaguars with Robinson, that tandem right there, I think would be insane. I think like again, like neither of them are going to be super elite, but it's going to be great, kind of like what the Ravens have. It kind of again,
Agree.
not exactly, because I don't know if you can copy the Ravens,
No, you can't.
but
Trevor Lawrence is no Lamar Jackson,
it, it,
but
exactly. But having a two-headed monster and then a mobile quarterback is still nice.
you could get close.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think that would be a very, very, very good thing for him and for the Jaguars. But talking about his counterpart, Javonte Williams.
I'm a bigger fan of Javonte Williams than I am of Michael Carter. I'm gonna put Javonte Williams in B. He's a big back with excellent goal line potential. He can really punch it in down there. He's a downhill runner with great speed. Does lack some elite speed, but he does have good agility, unlike Najee Harris. I think he's more agile. He's still a one cut runner who is also surprisingly adept in the receiving game. He still needs to be in a tandem, but I think he can be the head of the tandem, unlike Carter. Uh, I think he still needs a little bit of time to develop, so maybe 1 or 2 years at the back end of the tandem, and then maybe he merges and becomes a running back one. That could happen. He's very young. He's only 21, so allowing him a couple years to develop is good, and he doesn't have as much tread on him at 21. Sometimes you
Yeah,
see the running backs coming in at 23, 24, and you know their career is only going to last 4 or 5 years. This guy could play for 7 or 8 years,
yeah.
and it'll be set. As far as his NFL comparisons, for me, I see maybe a bigger Mark Ingram
Okay.
or a Kareem Hunt. Those are my shots for him.
I like the Mark Ingram personally.
Yeah,
I
that's
think that's a very good um, comparison right there for Williams. Um, so we're kind of mirrored. We're mirrored in the way that we're ranking them all in the same way or in the same top to bottom. I'm putting him at the top of B. I'm not putting him in A. So it's still kind of funny. We have all of our running backs are ranked in the same order. You just have Williams and Carter in two different tiers, and I have them in the same tier. Um, but I like Williams. I like him a lot. He's a big dude. Like you said, he fantastic hands. Um, and another thing that I wrote down that I really like from him is that he can take a hit. He can take a hit and shrug it off and continue going. I love
he's
that.
compact. He's gonna get you the first down. He's gonna get to the goal line. He will always succeed at that.
Exactly, exactly. And so I really like him in that, and I still think he probably goes in the second round as well. I don't like. I think it could be a toss up between Williams and Carter, which one goes first in the second. But I do think that they both go in the second round, personally. Um, but that is
As
our
far as
running backs. I'm sorry.
wait, I gotta give my landing spots for Javonte Williams. I think he does go in round 2 for sure. Uh, I think he's going to go to either Atlanta.
Okay.
I think that would be an excellent pickup for them in round 2, especially if they manage to fill more needs, pick up more picks in the first round by trading back. And another spot is Arizona again. If they don't go running back in the first round, they need to
Okay.
pick a running back in one of the first 3 rounds, and I do think he's the second choice for them.
No, that is 100% fair. I could definitely see the Arizona Cardinals pulling the trigger on one of these guys in the second round. Um, sorry, prematurely was going to say that this is our tier list. But Joel did bring up a good point. Needed to say exactly where we thought they were going to go. Again, like I'm not 100% sure, just because the second round is kind of it's a big toss up to me. But obviously, like certain teams need things like the Arizona Cardinals. Um, my mouth is so dry. Like the Arizona Cardinals. But yeah, that is going to be um
Everything for this week.
yeah, that's yeah,
We
that's
had a
that's
full
everything.
week this week. That was a lot longer than I think either me or Lee intended, but it was a
Yeah,
lot
and
of fun.
I think it was because of the O lineman. I think it was a
I
lot to
shook
go
you.
through. It was a lot to go through. But
No, that's true.
anyone that stayed and watched it all, thank you very much for watching all of this. If you're just watching the shorter clips that I'm going to make, thank you for watching those as well. Um, Please, we would love to know uh, your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe, do all that good YouTube algorithm stuff. Um, and look forward to next week when we do talk about edge rushers and linebackers. And we're also going to be talking about the NFC and AFC West. Finally, the last teams that we need to talk about before the draft comes up. But until then, we are signing off. This is Two Nerd Sportscast. I'm Lee.
And I'm Joel, and we'll see you next week.